The state of Texas has just introduced 2 shocking new gun control bills. But these aren't like traditional gun control bills. These are bills that would destroy the federal government's ability to pass gun control laws. So as most of you know, there's this concept of having a Second Amendment sanctuary. 60 counties across the state of Texas have stood up and said, no matter what federal gun control laws come down the pipe, they refuse to comply with those laws. They refuse to arrest individuals who are violating federal gun control laws if those gun control laws violate the Second Amendment. Well, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he's got a much bigger idea for this idea of a Second Amendment sanctuary.
I want to make sure that Texas becomes a Second Amendment sanctuary state so that no government official at any level can come and take your gun away from you, despite those people who said, heck yes, we're going to take your gun. We're going to say, heck no, you cannot take people's guns away in Texas.
I think this is absolutely amazing, and honestly, it makes me kind of want to move to Texas. Finally, we have leaders in the state of Texas that are standing up and defending our great Constitution, defending our Second Amendment rights that just continually gets attacked. 2 bills have been submitted in the Texas House of Representatives. Now, both of these bills are pretty similar in text, and both of these bills would prohibit law enforcement from enforcing federal gun control measures. Now, I'm going to put a link in the description down below so you guys can take a look at both of these bills, but they're both very, very similar. Now, both of these bills start off by reminding the federal government about the Constitution. It's a sad day in American history when we have to remind the government about the Constitution that each one of these individuals swore an oath to defend. So the 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution reserves to the states and the people all powers not granted to the federal government elsewhere in the Constitution, as those powers were understood at the time Texas was admitted to statehood in 1845. The guarantee of those powers is a matter of contract between the state and the people of Texas and the United States, dating from the time Texas became a state. The 9th Amendment to the United States Constitution guarantees to the people rights not enumerated in the Constitution, as those rights were understood at the time Texas became a state. And finally, the 2nd Amendment to the United States Constitution guarantees the rights of the people to keep and bear arms, as that right was understood at the time Texas became a state. The guarantee of that right is a matter of contract between the state and the people of Texas and the United States, dating from the time Texas became a state. You know, one of the things that the gun control community has been trying to do for a long time is trying to move the bar of what is protected under the Second Amendment as what is not. And what they are very clearly saying inside of these bills is we're going back to originally what the Second Amendment, what the Bill of Rights meant. These are individual rights. My right as a person. What did these rights mean when Texas became a state in 1845? Not all of this nonsense that's happening today, but what did it mean back then? That's what we are going to support, and that is what we are going to defend. So if these bills pass, they would prohibit law enforcement from enforcing unconstitutional gun laws. This would mean that any agency, department, commission, bureau, board, office, court, or any municipality, county, or special district, including the sheriff, police department, or county attorney, it would prohibit any of these individuals from enforcing or attempting to enforce any gun law that was passed after January 1st of 2021. So it continues to say, subsection A may not adopt a rule, order, ordinance, or policy under which the entity enforces or by consent action allows the enforcement of a federal statute. So I'm going to pause for a second. You know, this is super powerful. Lots of gun owners, including myself, we are stressed out with an incoming Joe Biden and Kamala Harris administration. We're stressed. We're concerned that these individuals are this is going to be a massive gun grab over the next couple years. This bill, if it passed, would say no matter what Kamala or Joe Biden do, no matter what gun control laws are passed by the federal government, the state of Texas will not comply. And it also provides for criminal liability. Anybody that attempts to enforce a federal gun control law under this bill would be criminally held liable. So that means they could go to jail. They could get prosecuted. And isn't that what we as the Second Amendment community have been asking for so long? People that are violating their oath of office, people that are violating the Constitution should be held liable for those actions. And this bill is setting out to do just that. Now, when would this bill take effect? This act takes effect immediately if it receives a vote of 2/3 of all members elected to each house. If it does not receive that kind of supermajority vote necessary for it to take immediate action, this act would take effect September 1st, 2021. I think this is exactly what the Second Amendment community needs. We need our leaders in office to propose and pass bills just like this. If you live in the state of Texas, you need to contact your representatives. We need this bill to pass in Texas. And if you live in Florida, we need to contact our representatives and tell them that we support legislation just like this. We need to contact Governor Ron DeSantis and tell him we demand for you to propose and pass a bill just like this in the great state of Florida. We need our leaders to do what they said they were going to do, which is to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. We need laws just like this to defend our constitutional right, to stop the infringement on our rights, and to hold any individual, entity, or agency who attempts to infringe on our rights criminally liable. If you guys think this bill should pass, if you support this bill, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and comment down below.